What if the voice in your head telling you you're not good enough was never yours to begin with? Every time you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, every time you doubt your value despite all you've survived, you're replaying a script that was handed to you, not written by you. The self-esteem reset isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finally remembering who you were before the world made you forget. The self-esteem reset. Reclaim your worth and step into your power. Written and published by Stoic Guardian. Introduction. In a world that constantly measures our worth by likes, titles, appearance, and performance, reclaiming self-esteem is nothing short of a revolution. The self-esteem reset is your personal blueprint for that revolution. This book doesn't offer hollow positivity or surface-level confidence hacks. It reaches into the very root of why so many of us feel disconnected from our own value. Drawing from psychological research, lived experience, and practical tools, it invites you to peel away the false narratives, rewrite your inner story, and build unshakable self-worth from within. Whether you battle perfectionism, people-pleasing, or silent self-doubt, this journey is about more than feeling better. It's about stepping fully into your power and creating a life that reflects your true worth. Chapter 1. What is self-esteem and why it matters? The mirror reflects more than just our physical appearance. It captures the essence of how we value ourselves. Self-esteem shapes every decision we make, from the partnerships we choose to the dreams we dare to pursue. That reflection in the mirror tells a story, not just about our outer appearance, but about the relationship we have built with ourselves over years of experiences, challenges, and inner dialogue. Standing before that mirror, many of us see distorted versions of ourselves, crafted by past experiences and societal pressures. These distortions affect not just how we view our reflection, but how we move through the world. When we step into a job interview, speak up in a meeting, or express our needs in a relationship, our self-esteem acts as an invisible force, either propelling us forward or holding us back. Understanding self-esteem requires looking beyond the surface-level definition of feeling good about yourself. It is the foundation upon which we build our entire lives, influencing everything from our career choices to our closest relationships. Think of self-esteem as the operating system of your personal growth. When it functions well, all other aspects of life run more smoothly. Recent research reveals that self-esteem acts as a psychological immune system, protecting us from life's inevitable setbacks and challenges. People with healthy self-esteem bounce back faster from failure, set appropriate boundaries in relationships, and pursue their goals with genuine confidence. They understand their worth is not tied to external achievements, but rooted in their inherent value as human beings. The impact of self-esteem extends far beyond our personal lives. In professional settings, it influences how we negotiate, lead teams, and handle feedback. In relationships, it determines the depth of connection we allow ourselves to experience and the standards we set for how others treat us. Even our physical health is affected, as self-esteem influences our lifestyle choices and stress management. Building healthy self-esteem starts with recognizing its true nature. It is not about developing an inflated ego or seeking constant validation. Instead, it is about cultivating a realistic, compassionate understanding of your strengths and limitations. This understanding becomes the compass that guides you through life's challenges and opportunities. The journey to healthy self-esteem begins with small steps: speaking to yourself with kindness, setting boundaries that honor your needs, and making choices aligned with your values. Each positive action reinforces your worth and builds momentum toward lasting change. Remember, your self-esteem is not set in stone. Like any skill, it can be developed and strengthened with practice and patience. By understanding its fundamental role in your life, you take the first step toward transforming not just how you see yourself, but how you live your life. Your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life, Make it one of respect, understanding, and unwavering support. Chapter 2. Signs of low self-esteem. You might overlook. Self-doubt creeps in silently, masquerading as wisdom or caution. That moment when you achieved something remarkable yet immediately dismissed it as luck. The times you stayed quiet in meetings, though your ideas were solid and well-formed. These subtle signs of low self-esteem often go unnoticed, disguising themselves as personality traits or reasonable responses to life's challenges. Your friend compliments your outfit, and you reflexively point out its flaws. A colleague praises your work, and you quickly deflect by crediting everyone else on the team. These responses feel natural, even polite, but they reveal a deeper pattern of undermining your own worth. Low self-esteem operates like a stealth program, running in the background of your life, influencing decisions and behaviors in ways that might surprise you. The signs extend beyond the obvious markers of negative self-talk or difficulty accepting compliments. They manifest in the way you approach relationships, handle workplace dynamics, and make daily decisions. Perhaps you find yourself over-explaining your choices, seeking permission for things that require none, or apologizing for taking up space in rooms where you belong. Perfectionism often masks low self-esteem, presenting itself as high standards or attention to detail. You might spend hours polishing a presentation that was already excellent, or agonize over sending an email until every word feels perfect. This exhausting pursuit of flawlessness stems not from a desire for excellence, but from a fear that being anything less than perfect makes you unworthy. In relationships, low self-esteem might lead you to settle for less than you deserve, consistently putting others' needs before your own. You might find yourself saying yes when you want to say no, or tolerating behavior that crosses your boundaries. The fear of rejection or abandonment becomes more powerful than your own comfort and well-being. Professional situations reveal their own set of indicators. You might hesitate to apply for promotions until you meet every qualification perfectly, while watching others with less experience step forward confidently. In meetings, your innovative ideas remain unspoken, trapped behind the fear that they might not be good enough. Physical manifestations appear too: tension, headaches, shallow breathing, or a constant sense of being on edge. Your body carries the weight of self-doubt in ways that impact your health and vitality. These physical symptoms often go unrecognized as connected to self-esteem, attributed instead to stress or modern life. The path to recognizing these signs begins with gentle awareness. Notice the patterns without judgment, understanding that these behaviors developed as protective mechanisms. They served a purpose once, helping you navigate challenging situations or relationships. Now, recognizing them becomes the first step toward choosing new responses that align with your true worth. Awareness creates space for change. Each time you catch yourself in these patterns, you have an opportunity to choose differently. This recognition is not about criticism, but about understanding, the first ray of light that illuminates the path to stronger self-esteem. Chapter 3. The role of society and media in self-worth. Walking through any city street reveals an endless parade of messages about who we should be, how we should look, and what success means. Billboards showcase impossibly perfect faces, social media feeds display carefully curated highlights of others' lives, and advertisements promise happiness through consumption. This constant bombardment shapes our self-worth in profound and often unconscious ways. The digital age has intensified this influence, turning every smartphone into a portal of comparison. Social media platforms create a highlight reel effect, where we compare our behind-the-scenes struggles to others' carefully filtered moments of triumph. Each scroll through our feeds can trigger feelings of inadequacy, as we measure our ordinary days against an endless stream of extraordinary moments. Traditional media continues to promote narrow definitions of beauty, success, and worth. Magazine covers celebrate specific body types, while articles promise transformation through 10 simple steps. Television shows and movies often reinforce stereotypes about gender roles, relationships, and what constitutes a meaningful life. These messages seep into our consciousness, creating internal standards that feel personal, but actually reflect societal programming. The impact extends beyond appearance to shape our understanding of success and achievement. Corporate culture promotes a relentless drive for more status, more wealth, more influence. This creates a treadmill of constant striving, where self-worth becomes tied to external markers of success rather than internal values and authentic fulfillment. Gender stereotypes persist in subtle and overt ways, creating additional pressure. Women face contradictory expectations. Be ambitious but not too aggressive. Be attractive but natural. Be nurturing but maintain professional boundaries. These impossible standards create a foundation of self-doubt that can undermine even the strongest sense of self-worth. Advertising exploits our insecurities, suggesting that confidence, love, and success can be purchased. The beauty industry thrives on making us feel inadequate, while social media influencers promote an endless array of products promising transformation. This commercialization of self-worth creates a cycle where external solutions are sought for internal challenges. The impact of these societal pressures shows up in rising rates of anxiety, depression, and body image issues. Young people particularly feel this burden, growing up in an environment where their worth is constantly measured in likes, shares, and followers. The pressure to maintain a perfect online presence while navigating real-world challenges creates unprecedented stress. The key lies not in completely disconnecting from media and society, but in developing a critical awareness of these influences. Understanding how these messages shape our self-perception allows us to consciously choose which standards to accept and which to reject. We can appreciate the connectivity that modern media provides while maintaining healthy boundaries with content that undermines our self-worth. By recognizing these external influences, we begin to separate our authentic sense of self from societal expectations. This awareness creates space to define success and worth on our own terms, based on personal values rather than cultural programming. Chapter 4. Rebuilding self-esteem from within. Deep within every person lies an unshakable core of worth, often buried beneath layers of doubt and societal conditioning. Starting the journey of rebuilding self-esteem requires reaching past these layers to reconnect with that fundamental truth of your inherent value. This process begins not with grand gestures or dramatic changes, but with small moments of choosing yourself. True transformation starts in quiet moments, when you pause before automatically agreeing to something that drains you, when you acknowledge an achievement without diminishing it, when you choose to speak kindly to yourself after a mistake. These seemingly insignificant choices accumulate, gradually shifting your internal landscape from criticism to compassion. Building self-esteem from within means creating a new relationship with yourself based on understanding and acceptance. It means examining the stories you tell about your worth and consciously choosing new narratives that reflect your true value. This process requires patience and persistence, as old patterns of thinking do not dissolve overnight. The foundation of this rebuilding process lies in developing self-awareness without judgment. Notice how you speak to yourself, how you carry yourself, how you react to praise or criticism. These observations provide valuable insights into the beliefs that shape your self-perception. Each realization becomes an opportunity for gentle change rather than harsh self-criticism. Creating new patterns requires consistent practice in everyday situations. When you accomplish something, pause to acknowledge your effort rather than immediately moving to the next task. When facing a challenge, remind yourself of past successes rather than focusing on potential failures. These small shifts in perspective gradually create new neural pathways that support stronger self-esteem. Developing internal validation becomes crucial in this process. While external recognition feels good, lasting self-esteem must be anchored in your own assessment of your worth. This means learning to trust your judgment, honor your feelings, and recognize your own growth without needing others to confirm it. The journey involves redefining your relationship with perfection and failure. Understanding that mistakes do not diminish your worth allows you to take risks and embrace learning opportunities. Each setback becomes a chance to practice self-compassion and demonstrate to yourself that your value remains constant, regardless of outcomes. Physical practices play a vital role in rebuilding self-esteem from within. Simple acts like maintaining good posture, taking deep breaths, or moving your body mindfully create a physical foundation for emotional strength. Your body becomes an ally in building confidence rather than a source of criticism. As you continue this rebuilding process, you will notice subtle shifts in how you navigate relationships and challenges. Boundaries become easier to set, decisions align more naturally with your values, and resilience grows stronger. These changes emerge not from forcing yourself to be different, but from nurturing a genuine connection with your inherent worth. Remember that rebuilding self-esteem is not about reaching a perfect state of confidence, but about creating a sustainable practice of self-respect and growth. Each step forward strengthens the foundation of your renewed relationship with yourself. Chapter 5. Strategies for breaking negative self-talk. Words shape reality, especially the ones we whisper to ourselves in private moments. That critical inner voice, the one telling you that you are not enough, did not begin with you. It collected its power through years of absorbed messages, difficult experiences, and misinterpreted moments. Breaking free from this voice starts with recognizing it as a learned pattern rather than an unchangeable truth. This inner critic often speaks with borrowed authority, perhaps echoing a dismissive teacher, a critical parent, or a challenging life experience. It masquerades as wisdom, protection, or motivation, but its constant presence undermines your confidence and limits your potential. Understanding its origins removes some of its power, creating space for a new, more supportive affirmations or forced optimism. Real transformation begins with becoming curious about your thought patterns. Notice when the critical voice appears, what triggers it, and how it affects your choices. This awareness creates moments of choice between the automatic negative response and a new, more balanced perspective. The process of changing self-talk involves developing your observer mind, the part of you that can step back and witness thoughts without becoming entangled in them. When negative thoughts arise, pause to question their validity. Are they based on current reality or old wounds? Do they reflect genuine self-assessment or habitual self-criticism? Building new neural pathways takes time and consistent practice. Start by catching one negative thought pattern each day and deliberately choosing a more balanced perspective. When the voice says, "You always mess things up," pause and recall times you have succeeded. When it whispers, "You are not ready," remember past challenges you have overcome. Language itself holds transformative power. Replace absolute terms like never and always with more accurate descriptions. Instead of "I am terrible at presentations," try "I am learning and improving my presentation skills." This subtle shift from fixed judgments to growth-oriented statements opens possibilities for change. The goal is not to eliminate all negative thoughts, but to develop a more balanced and supportive internal dialogue, just as you would speak to a dear friend, with understanding, patience, and encouragement. Learn to extend that same compassion to yourself. This does not mean ignoring areas for growth, but approaching them with constructive awareness rather than harsh criticism. Physical practices complement mental shifts in changing self-talk. Deep breathing, movement, or simply placing a hand over your heart while speaking kindly to yourself can help integrate new patterns at a bodily level. These practices ground positive self-talk in physical experience, making it more tangible and accessible. As new patterns of self-talk establish themselves, notice how they influence your choices and interactions. Supportive internal dialogue naturally leads to more confident expression, clearer boundaries, and greater resilience in facing challenges. Each small shift in how you speak to yourself creates ripples of positive change throughout your life. Chapter 6. The Power of Journaling for Self-Reflection. A blank page holds infinite possibilities for self-discovery. That pristine notebook waiting on your desk offers more than just a space for recording daily events. It becomes a mirror, reflecting your deepest thoughts, a trusted confidant for your fears and dreams, and a powerful tool for transforming your relationship with yourself. The simple act of putting pen to paper creates a sacred space for honest conversation with yourself. Unlike speaking, which often happens quickly and reactively, writing allows thoughts to flow at their own pace. This natural rhythm helps bypass the usual filters and defenses, revealing insights that might otherwise remain hidden beneath the surface of consciousness. Writing becomes particularly powerful when exploring difficult emotions or challenging. The physical act of writing engages both hemispheres of the brain, helping process emotions while maintaining analytical perspective. This dual engagement often leads to breakthrough moments, where patterns become clear and new solutions emerge. Your journal becomes a safe container for examining thoughts without judgment. Unlike conversations with others, where we might hold back or adjust our words, journal pages accept all thoughts equally. This complete acceptance creates space for authentic expression and deeper understanding of yourself. Regular journaling practice develops emotional literacy, the ability to recognize, name, and understand your feelings with greater precision. As you write about your experiences, patterns emerge. You might notice certain situations consistently trigger self-doubt, or specific relationships drain your energy. These insights become stepping stones to conscious change. The process reveals hidden strengths and resources you might overlook in daily life. Reading back through previous entries often shows evidence of resilience, wisdom, and growth that your critical mind might dismiss. These written reminders of your capabilities build confidence and counter self-limiting beliefs. Different journaling techniques serve different purposes in building self-esteem. Stream of consciousness writing releases mental clutter and reveals underlying thoughts. Structured reflection helps track progress and celebrate small wins. Dialogue writing, where you converse with different aspects of yourself, can bring new perspectives to old patterns. Journaling also creates a record of your journey, documenting both challenges and triumphs. In moments of self-doubt, these written accounts provide concrete evidence of how far you have come. They remind you of obstacles overcome and progress made, even when current challenges feel overwhelming. The practice of regular writing builds a stronger connection with your authentic self. As you develop trust in your ability to express and examine your thoughts on paper, this trust extends to other areas of life. You become more confident in speaking your truth, setting boundaries, and making choices aligned with your values. This powerful tool for self-discovery and growth requires only a pen, paper, and willingness to explore. Each journal entry becomes another step in strengthening your relationship with yourself, creating a foundation of self-understanding that supports lasting confidence. Chapter 7. How to handle self-criticism and inner negativity. A single critical thought spirals into an avalanche of self-doubt. One small mistake transforms into evidence of fundamental unworthiness. These moments of harsh self-judgment feel intensely personal and unchangeable, yet they reflect a universal human experience, one that can be transformed through understanding and practiced compassion. Self-criticism often wears a mask of helpfulness, claiming to motivate improvement or prevent mistakes. It presents itself as a necessary guardian against failure or rejection. Yet research reveals that constant self-criticism actually undermines performance, creativity, and resilience. Understanding this paradox creates the first crack in criticism's seeming authority. Behind most self-critical thoughts lies a younger version of yourself who learned this pattern as a way to stay safe or gain approval. This inner critic developed its harsh voice trying to protect you from hurt, disappointment, or rejection. Recognizing its protective intention, even while choosing new ways to support yourself, brings compassion to the process of change. Transforming self-criticism requires developing your observer mind, the part of you that can notice thoughts without becoming entangled in them. When critical thoughts arise, pause to create space between the thought and your reaction to it. This space allows you to question the criticism's validity and choose a more balanced response. The language of self-criticism often reveals its unrealistic nature. Words like always, never, and should signal all or nothing thinking that distorts reality. Practice catching these absolute terms and replacing them with more accurate descriptions. This simple shift helps break the spell of harsh self-judgment. Physical sensations often accompany self-criticism. Tension in the shoulders, shallow breathing, or a knot in the stomach. These bodily responses offer early warning signs of critical thoughts taking hold. By noticing these physical cues, you can intervene earlier in the cycle of self-criticism before it gains momentum. Developing self-compassion provides an antidote to harsh self-judgment. This does not mean ignoring areas for growth or excusing harmful behaviors. Instead, it means approaching your challenges and mistakes with the same understanding you would offer a good friend. Acknowledging the difficulty while maintaining faith in your capacity to learn and grow. Action becomes a powerful ally in countering self-criticism. Rather than getting stuck in cycles of negative thinking, channel that energy into concrete steps toward your goals. Each small action builds evidence against critical thoughts and strengthens your trust in your capabilities. Remember that transforming self-criticism takes time and practice. Old patterns of thinking have carved deep neural pathways that cannot be erased overnight. Each time you pause to question a critical thought or choose a compassionate response, you create new pathways that gradually become your default way of relating to yourself. This journey from criticism to compassion transforms not just your relationship with yourself, but how you move through the world. As internal harshness softens, you naturally extend more understanding to others, creating ripples of positive change in all your relationships. Chapter 8. Replacing comparison with self-compassion. Social media feeds showcase endless highlights from others' lives. Professional achievements, perfect family moments, and carefully curated images create a constantly running slideshow of comparison. This modern phenomenon intensifies an age-old human tendency to measure ourselves against others, often leaving us feeling inadequate and unseen. The comparison trap runs deeper than conscious awareness. Even when we know intellectually that social media presents filtered reality, emotional responses bypass this logic. Each scroll through carefully curated posts can trigger feelings of falling behind, not measuring up, or missing out on life's supposed benchmarks. Breaking free from constant comparison requires understanding its root causes. Often, comparison serves as a misguided attempt to assess our worth or progress in life. We look to others as measuring sticks, forgetting that each person's journey follows its own unique timeline and path. The antidote to comparison lies not in forcing yourself to stop noticing others' achievements, but in developing genuine self-compassion. This means learning to acknowledge your own growth, celebrate your unique journey, and honor your individual timing in life. Self-compassion creates space for both appreciation of others and recognition of your own worth. Practical steps towards self-compassion begin with awareness of comparison triggers. Notice when scrolling social media leave you feeling depleted rather than connected. Pay attention to which situations or relationships tend to activate comparative thinking. This awareness allows you to make conscious choices about your exposure to comparison triggers. Developing your own internal standards becomes crucial in breaking free from comparison. What does success mean to you beyond societal metrics? What values guide your choices? These personal benchmarks provide more meaningful measures of growth than external comparisons ever could. Remember that behind every polished social media post or public achievement lies unseen struggles, doubts, and challenges. This truth applies to everyone, regardless of their apparent success. Embracing this reality helps dissolve the illusion of others' perfect lives and returns focus to your own authentic journey. Converting comparison into inspiration requires a shift in perspective. When others' achievements trigger comparison, pause to ask what you can learn from their journey while honoring your own path. This approach transforms potentially discouraging comparisons into opportunities for growth and motivation. Building genuine connections with others naturally reduces harmful comparison. Real conversations reveal the common human experiences of struggle, doubt, and resilience that lie beneath surface appearances. These authentic relationships provide support and perspective that counter the isolation comparison creates. The journey from comparison to self-compassion transforms not just your relationship with yourself, but your entire experience of life. As you learn to celebrate your unique path while appreciating others' journeys, you create space for genuine connection, growth, and joy, unhindered by the weight of constant comparison. Chapter 9. Stress and self-esteem, how they interconnect. Pressure builds silently until the smallest request feels overwhelming. That missed deadline, an unexpected criticism, or a challenging conversation triggers a cascade of self-doubt that seems disproportionate to the situation. This intense reaction reveals the intricate dance between stress and self-esteem, each influencing and amplifying the other in ways that shape our daily experiences. The relationship between stress and self-esteem operates like a feedback loop. Low self-esteem makes us more vulnerable to stress, interpreting challenges as confirmation of our perceived inadequacies. Increased stress then undermines our confidence, making it harder to access our natural resilience and capabilities. Understanding this connection provides the key to breaking this cycle. Our bodies hold the physical evidence of this relationship. Stress triggers the release of cortisol and other hormones that affect not just our physical state, but our emotional resilience and cognitive function. When stress becomes chronic, it creates a constant state of heightened alertness that makes it difficult to maintain perspective or access our inner resources. The impact extends beyond immediate reactions to shape our long-term patterns. Chronic stress can lead to decision fatigue, making it harder to set boundaries or make choices that support our well-being. This diminished capacity often results in choices that further undermine self-esteem, creating a spiral of stress and self-doubt. Breaking this cycle requires understanding how stress manifests uniquely for you. Perhaps it shows up as perfectionism, people-pleasing, or procrastination. These stress responses often develop as coping mechanisms, but end up reinforcing low self-esteem by keeping us stuck in patterns of avoidance or overcompensation. The path to managing this connection starts with small, conscious choices that build both stress resilience and self-esteem. Setting realistic boundaries, practicing self-care, and acknowledging your needs become acts of self-respect that naturally reduce stress levels. Each time you honor your limits or prioritize your well-being, you strengthen your stress management capacity and self-worth simultaneously. Physical practices play a crucial role in regulating both stress and self-esteem. Simple acts like deep breathing, mindful movement, or moments of quiet reflection help regulate your nervous system. These practices create space between triggers and reactions, allowing you to respond from a place of self-trust rather than stress-induced fear. Building a toolkit of stress management strategies that align with your values and lifestyle supports sustainable change. This might include creative expression, time in nature, connection with supportive others, or regular physical activity. The key lies not in following prescribed solutions, but in discovering what truly helps you return to a centered state. Remember that managing stress and building self-esteem share a common foundation: self-awareness and self-compassion. As you develop these qualities, you create a stronger base for handling life's challenges while maintaining connection with your inherent worth. This understanding transforms how you navigate both daily pressures and significant life transitions. Chapter 10. Overcoming anxiety through self-trust. Racing thoughts create a maze of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. Your heart pounds, your breath shortens, and simple decisions become overwhelming obstacles. Anxiety whispers stories of inadequacy and danger, making self-trust feel like a distant memory. Yet, within this struggle lies an opportunity to rebuild the bridge between anxiety and authentic confidence. Anxiety and self-trust exist on opposite ends of the same spectrum. Where anxiety breeds doubt and hesitation, self-trust fosters clarity and action. Understanding this relationship reveals why building self-trust becomes crucial in managing anxiety. Each small act of trusting yourself creates a counter-narrative to anxiety's constant questioning. The path to self-trust begins with recognizing anxiety's protective intent. Those racing thoughts and physical symptoms originally developed as warning systems, attempting to keep you safe from real or perceived threats. Acknowledging this purpose without letting it control your choices becomes the first step toward building a new relationship with anxiety. Physical sensations often precede anxious thoughts, creating a window of opportunity for intervention. Learning to recognize these early warning signs, tension in your shoulders, changes in breathing, or a flutter in your stomach, allows you to respond before anxiety gains momentum. This awareness builds confidence in your ability to manage anxiety rather than being overwhelmed by it. Building self-trust requires small, consistent acts of listening to your inner wisdom. Start with simple choices where the stakes feel manageable. Notice when you navigate a situation successfully, even if anxiety is present. These experiences become reference points that strengthen your trust in your capabilities. The practice of grounding yourself in present reality counters anxiety's future-focused fears. When anxious thoughts project catastrophic outcomes, pause to notice what is actually happening in this moment. This simple act of returning to current experience builds trust in your ability to handle whatever arises. Developing a compassionate relationship with anxiety transforms how you experience it. Rather than seeing anxiety as an enemy to fight or a weakness to overcome, approach it as information about what matters to you. This shift in perspective allows you to access the wisdom beneath the worry, while building trust in your capacity to navigate challenges. Creating external support systems strengthens internal self-trust. Identify people who believe in you, activities that center you, and environments that nurture your confidence. These resources provide foundation and feedback as you practice trusting yourself in increasingly challenging situations. Remember that building self-trust while managing anxiety is not about eliminating uncertainty or preventing all mistakes. It is about developing faith in your ability to handle whatever arises, even if anxiety is present. Each time you take action despite doubt or learn from a setback, you strengthen the muscle of self-trust. Chapter 11. Self-esteem and leadership for women. Power resonates differently when claimed from a place of authentic self-worth. Leadership emerges not from external validation or authority, but from a deep connection with your inherent value and vision. For women navigating leadership roles, this foundation of self-esteem becomes both anchor and compass, guiding decisions and interactions in an environment still shaped by gender expectations. Traditional leadership models often reflect masculine paradigms of power and success, leaving women to navigate complex expectations about assertiveness, emotion, and authority. Strong self-esteem allows you to transcend these limiting models, creating your own authentic leadership style that draws from both strength and sensitivity. The intersection of gender and leadership creates unique challenges for self-esteem. Women often face double standards, being judged as too aggressive when direct or too soft when empathetic. Building robust self-esteem helps you navigate these contradictions with grace, staying true to your values while effectively achieving goals. Leadership requires visibility, which can trigger vulnerability for many women. Speaking up in meetings, presenting to groups, or making controversial decisions all invite scrutiny. Strong self-esteem provides the internal support needed to maintain presence and conviction in these moments, even when facing resistance or criticism. The imposter syndrome phenomenon affects many women in leadership positions, regardless of their achievement. Understanding that these feelings reflect systemic issues rather than personal inadequacy helps maintain perspective. Each time you acknowledge your capabilities and contributions, you strengthen both your leadership impact and your self-esteem. Mentoring and supporting other women becomes a powerful way to reinforce your own self-worth while creating positive change. When you help others recognize and claim their value, you naturally strengthen your own connection to your capabilities. This ripple effect transforms not just individual lives, but organizational cultures. Building alliances and support networks plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy self-esteem as a leader. Connecting with other women who understand your experiences provides validation, perspective, and practical strategies for navigating challenges. These relationships help counter the isolation that can accompany leadership positions. Physical presence and non-verbal communication significantly impact how others perceive your leadership. Strong self-esteem naturally influences how you carry yourself, speak, and occupy space. Practicing embodied leadership, staying grounded in your physical experience while engaging with others, strengthens both your impact and your confidence. Remember that effective leadership flows from authentic self-expression rather than conforming to external expectation. As you develop stronger self-esteem, your natural leadership style emerges, one that integrates your unique strengths, experiences, and vision. This authenticity inspires others while creating sustainable success. Chapter 12. How your body image affects confidence. A mirror reflects more than physical appearance. It shows the complex relationship between body image and inner confidence. That critical glance at your reflection ripples through your day, affecting how you carry yourself, interact with others, and pursue your goals. Understanding this connection reveals how healing your relationship with your body naturally strengthens overall confidence. The stories we tell about our bodies often begin early, shaped by family attitudes, cultural messages, and personal experiences. These narratives become deeply embedded, influencing not just how we see ourselves, but how we move through the world. Recognizing these inherited beliefs creates space to choose new, more supportive ways of relating to your body. Media saturation with idealized body images creates constant pressure to measure up to impossible standards. Social media amplifies this effect, presenting carefully filtered and edited versions of reality as normal. Building strong body image requires developing critical awareness of these influences while choosing to define beauty and worth on your own terms. Physical sensations carry powerful messages about confidence and self-worth. Tension, shallow breathing, or contracted posture often reflect and reinforce negative body image. Simple practices like conscious breathing, gentle movement, or mindful awareness help rebuild trust in your body's wisdom and natural rhythms. The relationship between body image and confidence operates in both directions. Negative body image constrains confidence, while building confidence naturally improves body image. Understanding this connection allows you to work from both angles, addressing body image directly while also strengthening overall self-esteem. Movement becomes a powerful tool for transforming body image when approached with awareness and compassion. Instead of exercising to fix perceived flaws, focus on how movement makes you feel: strong, capable, energized. This shift in perspective nurtures a more positive relationship with your body while building genuine confidence. Clothing choices significantly impact both body image and confidence. Learning to dress in ways that feel comfortable and authentic, rather than trying to hide or conform to current trends, supports a more positive relationship with your body. This alignment between internal comfort and external expression naturally boosts confidence. Remember that your body carries the story of your life. Every challenge overcome, every experience that has shaped you. Appreciating this history helps shift focus from appearance to gratitude for your body's strength and resilience. This perspective naturally enhances both body image and overall confidence. Building positive body image requires consistent practice in choosing self-compassion over criticism. Each time you catch yourself in negative self-talk about your body, pause to offer understanding and appreciation instead. These small shifts gradually transform your relationship with your body and your sense of self-worth. Chapter 13. Self-esteem and career success. Talent and capability flourish when rooted in genuine self-worth. That moment before a crucial presentation, while preparing for a job interview, or when facing a challenging project, your level of self-esteem colors every professional experience. Success in your career grows not just from skills and knowledge, but from the deep-seated belief in your ability to create value. Professional environments often amplify self-esteem challenges. The constant evaluation, competition, and pressure to perform can trigger deep-seated doubts about your capabilities. Yet understanding this dynamic allows you to transform these triggers into opportunities for growth and authentic leadership. Your relationship with feedback reveals much about your professional self-esteem. Those with healthy self-esteem can receive constructive criticism without feeling diminished, seeing it as valuable information rather than personal judgment. This ability to separate feedback from self-worth becomes crucial for continuous growth and advancement. Career decisions flow differently when guided by healthy self-esteem. Instead of choosing roles based on others' expectations or fear of failure, you select opportunities aligned with your values and aspirations. This authentic approach naturally leads to greater satisfaction and success as you bring your full capabilities to work that genuinely matters to you. Networking and professional relationships transform when approached from a foundation of self-worth. Rather than seeing connections as transactions or opportunities to prove your value, you engage authentically, knowing you have genuine value to offer. This shift creates more meaningful professional relationships and opens doors to unexpected opportunities. Leadership opportunities often emerge naturally when you trust your capabilities and voice your ideas with conviction. Strong self-esteem allows you to take calculated risks, advocate for your vision, and inspire others through authentic communication. Your confidence becomes contagious, positively influencing team dynamics and project outcomes. Salary negotiations and advancement discussions require particularly strong self-esteem. Knowing your worth allows you to advocate for appropriate compensation and recognition without apologizing or undervaluing your contributions. This self-assurance often leads to better outcomes while earning respect from colleagues and superiors. Remember that career setbacks do not define your worth. Strong self-esteem provides resilience during professional challenges, helping you maintain perspective and learn from difficulties rather than being defeated by them. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity to demonstrate your adaptability and strengthen your professional capabilities. Your career journey reflects ongoing growth rather than a destination to reach. As you build stronger self-esteem, your professional path naturally aligns more closely with your authentic talents and aspirations, creating sustainable success built on genuine confidence and capability. Chapter 14. Rewriting the narrative of your past. Old stories echo in present moments, coloring how you see yourself and what you believe possible. That childhood criticism, teenage embarrassment, or past failure, these memories create a narrative that can limit your current potential. Yet within these same stories lies the power to reshape your understanding and reclaim your sense of worth. The stories we tell about our past shape our present reality and future possibilities. Often, these narratives form during vulnerable moments, written by others' judgments or our own immature understanding. Recognizing that you now have the power to reinterpret these experiences opens the door to profound transformation. Memory itself proves more flexible than we often realize. Each time we recall an experience, we actually recreate it, influenced by our current perspective and understanding. This malleability offers an opportunity to consciously reshape our relationship with past events, finding new meaning and strength in old wounds. Rewriting your narrative does not mean denying difficult experiences or pretending pain never happened. Instead, it involves finding new perspectives that honor both the challenges you faced and the resilience you demonstrated. This balanced view creates space for healing while acknowledging your inherent strength. The process begins with gentle curiosity about the stories you carry. Notice which memories still hold emotional charge, which experiences you avoid thinking about, or which past events seem to repeat in current situations. These patterns often point to narratives ready for transformation. Compassion becomes essential when revisiting painful memories. Approach your past self with the understanding and support you might offer a dear friend facing similar circumstances. This kindness creates safety for exploring difficult experiences while building a more nurturing relationship with yourself. New meaning emerges as you recognize how past challenges contributed to your current strengths. That criticism that once felt crushing may have developed your resilience. The rejection that seemed devastating might have clarified your true values. Finding these hidden gifts transforms victims' tales into heroes' journeys. Remember that rewriting your narrative takes time and patience. Some stories have deep roots, reinforced over years of repetition. Each time you choose a new perspective or find fresh meaning in old experiences, you strengthen neural pathways supporting a more empowering narrative. Your story continues to unfold, shaped by how you interpret both past and present experiences. As you develop stronger self-esteem, you naturally create new chapters aligned with your authentic worth and potential. Chapter 15. Developing emotional resilience. Storms pass through every life, testing foundations and revealing hidden strengths. That unexpected setback, painful loss, or daunting challenge. These moments measure not just our current resilience, but our capacity to grow stronger through adversity. Building emotional resilience transforms life's difficulties from threats into opportunities for deeper self-discovery. Emotional resilience grows through conscious practice, much like building physical strength. Each time you face a challenge while maintaining connection with your worth, you strengthen your capacity to handle future difficulties. This growth happens not despite stress, but because of how you choose to engage with it. Understanding your emotional patterns creates the foundation for greater resilience. Notice what triggers intense reactions, how you typically respond to stress, and what helps you return to balance. This self-awareness allows you to recognize early warning signs and implement supportive practices. before becoming overwhelmed. Building resilience requires developing multiple coping strategies suited to different situations. Like a skilled athlete adapting to changing game conditions, emotional resilience means having various tools available and knowing when to use each one. This flexibility allows you to respond effectively to life's diverse challenges. Physical practices play a crucial role in emotional resilience. Regular exercise, adequate rest, and proper nutrition create the biological foundation for handling stress. Understanding this mind-body connection allows you to support your emotional well-being through practical daily choices. Social connections significantly influence resilience. Strong relationships provide both practical support during difficulties and emotional scaffolding for personal growth. Cultivating these connections while maintaining healthy boundaries creates a resilient support system that enhances individual strength. Remember that resilience does not mean avoiding emotional pain or maintaining constant positivity. True resilience involves experiencing feelings fully while maintaining faith in your ability to handle whatever arises. This balanced approach allows for authentic emotional expression while preventing overwhelm. Growth happens in the recovery period after stress, not during the challenge itself. Like muscles that grow stronger during rest after exercise, emotional resilience develops as you reflect on challenges and integrate their lessons. This understanding helps you value both active engagement with difficulties and quiet time for processing. Your capacity for resilience continues expanding throughout life, shaped by each experience you navigate. As you develop stronger emotional resilience, you naturally approach challenges with greater confidence and wisdom. Chapter 16. Overcoming imposter syndrome. Achievement feels hollow when shadowed by persistent self-doubt. Despite evidence of capability and success, that nagging voice questions whether you truly belong or deserve your accomplishments. Imposter syndrome thrives in the gap between external achievement and internal self-perception, making each success feel like a lucky accident waiting to be exposed. The paradox of imposter syndrome lies in its preference for high achievers. Those most demonstrably capable often struggle most with feelings of fraudulence. Understanding this pattern reveals imposter syndrome not as a sign of inadequacy, but as a common experience among those pushing beyond their comfort zones. Perfectionism often accompanies imposter feelings, creating impossible standards that reinforce self-doubt. The need to prove worth through flawless performance creates constant pressure, while preventing authentic engagement with work and relationships. Breaking this cycle requires developing new measures of success based on growth rather than perfection. Cultural and societal messages contribute significantly to imposter feelings, particularly for women and minorities. Recognition of these systemic influences helps shift blame from personal inadequacy to broader contextual factors. This understanding creates space for both individual healing and collective change. Building authentic confidence requires collecting evidence that counters imposter beliefs. Start documenting your achievements, positive feedback, and moments of genuine capability. This concrete record helps challenge the dismissive voice that minimizes your accomplishments or attributes them to luck. Remember that expertise develops gradually through consistent effort and learning from mistakes. The expectation of instant mastery or complete knowledge sets an impossible standard that feeds imposter feelings. Embracing your role as a continuous learner allows for more realistic self-assessment while maintaining growth mindset. Sharing experiences of imposter syndrome with trusted others often reveals its commonality among capable people. These conversations normalize the experience while providing perspective and practical strategies for managing self-doubt. Connection with others facing similar challenges reduces isolation while building collective resilience. Your unique perspective and experiences contribute value that others cannot replicate. Recognizing this truth helps counter the tendency to compare yourself unfavorably to others or discount your distinctive contributions. Your authenticity becomes an asset rather than a liability. Remember that overcoming imposter syndrome involves developing a new relationship with achievement and self-worth. As you learn to trust your capabilities while maintaining humility and openness to growth, you create space for both confidence and continuous learning. Chapter 17. Building self-esteem in relationships. Love reflects back to us our deepest beliefs about worthiness. Those quiet moments of vulnerability, decisions about boundaries or responses to conflict, each interaction in relationships mirrors and shapes our self-esteem. The connection between self-worth and relationship patterns creates opportunities for profound healing and growth. Healthy relationships require a foundation of self-respect. Without strong self-esteem, we might accept treatment that undermines our worth, sacrifice authentic expression for approval, or lose ourselves in others' needs and expectations. Understanding this dynamic allows us to create relationships that support, rather than diminish, our sense of self. Boundaries emerge naturally from healthy self-esteem, defining the space where we end and others begin. Clear boundaries protect our energy, values, and well-being, while creating the safety necessary for genuine intimacy. Each time we honor our limits or communicate our needs, we strengthen both our self-esteem and our relationships. Past relationship patterns often reveal old wounds in self-esteem. Notice if you consistently choose partners who cannot meet your needs, sacrifice your dreams for relationships, or struggle to receive love and support. These patterns point to areas where healing self-worth can transform your relationship experiences. Communication flows differently when grounded in self-worth. Instead of hiding needs behind hints or passive aggression, healthy self-esteem supports direct, respectful expression. This authentic communication creates space for genuine connection while maintaining personal integrity. Remember that relationships provide opportunities to practice new patterns of self-worth. Each interaction offers choices: to speak up or stay silent, to maintain boundaries or compromise values, to trust your perceptions or doubt your experience. These moments build both relationship skills and self-esteem. Conflict reveals and strengthens self-esteem when approached with awareness. Strong self-worth allows you to stay present during disagreements, express needs clearly, and maintain respect for both yourself and others. This balanced approach transforms conflict from a threat to an opportunity for deeper understanding. Your relationship with yourself sets the template for all other connections. As you develop stronger self-esteem, you naturally attract and create relationships that reflect and support your authentic worth. Chapter 18. How to stop seeking external validation. Approval from others feels like water in a desert, temporarily satisfying but ultimately unsustainable. That rush of likes on social media, praise from authority figures, or validation from peers creates momentary relief from self-doubt. Yet this dependence on external approval keeps us tethered to others' opinions, preventing the development of genuine self-worth. The habit of seeking validation often begins early, shaped by experiences where love or acceptance seemed conditional on meeting others' expectations. Understanding these origins helps shift from blame to compassion, while creating space for new patterns of self-trust. External validation creates a moving target of worthiness. What receives approval today might draw criticism tomorrow, leaving us constantly adjusting to others' changing standards. This exhausting dance prevents the development of stable self-esteem based on internal values and authentic self-expression. Breaking free from validation seeking begins with noticing its patterns in your life. Observe when you check social media compulsively, adjust your opinions to match others, or feel anxious without constant feedback. This awareness creates pause points where you can choose different responses. Developing internal validation requires establishing personal standards and values, what truly matters to you beyond others' expectations. What does success mean by your own definition? These questions guide you toward authentic self-expression and sustainable self-worth. Remember that withdrawal from external validation, like any addiction, creates temporary discomfort. You might feel untethered or uncertain without constant feedback. These feelings signal growth as you develop stronger trust in your own judgment and values. Building self-trust involves small acts of listening to your inner wisdom. Start with minor decisions where external approval feels less crucial. Each time you honor your preferences or follow your instincts, you strengthen the muscle of self-trust. Your worth exists independently of others' recognition or approval. As you develop stronger self-esteem, external validation becomes a pleasant addition to life, rather than a necessity for feeling worthy. Chapter 19. The role of therapy and coaching in self-growth. Growth accelerates when witnessed by skilled, compassionate guides. Professional support creates sacred space for exploring patterns, healing wounds, and developing new capabilities. Understanding the unique benefits of therapy and coaching helps you choose resources that best support your journey towards stronger self-esteem. Therapy provides deep healing for old wounds that undermine self-worth. Working with a skilled therapist creates safety for examining painful experiences, understanding their impact on current patterns, and developing new responses. This process transforms past hurts from limiting factors into sources of wisdom and strength. Different therapeutic approaches offer various tools for building self-esteem. Some focus on changing thought patterns, others explore emotional healing, while some address body-based trauma responses. Understanding these options helps you choose support aligned with your needs and preferences. Coaching complements therapy by focusing on present challenges and future goals. A skilled coach helps identify limiting beliefs, develop practical strategies, and maintain accountability for positive changes. This future-oriented approach builds confidence through active engagement with personal and professional growth. Professional support provides objective perspective often difficult to achieve alone. Both therapists and coaches reflect back patterns you might miss, challenge self-limiting beliefs, and celebrate progress you might discount. This external mirror helps develop more accurate self-perception. Remember that seeking support indicates strength rather than weakness. It demonstrates commitment to growth and willingness to invest in your well-being. This choice itself builds self-esteem by honoring your worth and potential. The relationship with your support professional creates opportunities to practice new patterns of self-worth. Through experiencing acceptance, maintaining boundaries, and expressing needs, you develop skills that extend beyond the therapeutic or coaching relationship. Your growth journey deserves skilled support. As you develop stronger self-esteem, professional guidance helps integrate changes while preparing for new levels of personal and professional success. Chapter 20. Creating a lifelong self-esteem practice. Lasting transformation grows through daily choices and consistent practice. Like tending a garden, building self-esteem requires regular attention, patience with natural cycles, and trust in the process of growth. Understanding this ongoing nature helps create sustainable practices that support lifelong development of authentic self-worth. Each day presents moments to choose self-respect. In conversations, decisions about time and energy, responses to challenges, and treatment of your body and mind. These small choices accumulate, gradually shifting your relationship with yourself from criticism to compassion. Self-esteem practices evolve as you grow, requiring regular reassessment and adjustment. What supported your growth initially might need updating as you develop new capabilities and face different challenges. This flexibility keeps your practice alive and relevant to your current needs. Creating supportive daily routines anchors self-esteem in practical actions. Regular self-care, boundary setting, and authentic self-expression become concrete ways to honor your worth. These habits create stability while building evidence of your commitment to personal growth. Remember that growth includes both forward movement and integration periods. Like physical training, development of self-esteem requires time for rest and consolidation between challenges. Honoring these natural rhythms prevents burnout while ensuring sustainable progress. Your self-esteem practice becomes a lifelong companion, supporting you through various life stages and challenges. As you consistently choose self-respect and growth, you create an unshakable foundation of authentic worth and capability.